Hello, folks. Kind of got a little longer video tonight. Sorry for the inactivity. Just kind of been, it's been busy and haven't really been. I hate to say it. I really haven't been motivated to make a video, but you know, shit happens, and we back, we back with a pretty interesting topic. I think it's pretty interesting, at least. Psychedelics. Uh, yeah. Uh, lots of opinions on psychedelics. Lots of opinions people have. A lot of them not too positive, but that's uh that's kind of why I'm here. That's kind of why I'm talking now. I just want to shed some light on the positive stuff that psychedelics can do and what they have done for people. Um, Me personally, just right off the bat, I have had I've had many. And many's not the right word. I've had a couple of psychedelic experiences. I have tried LSD. I've tried magic mushrooms, but I'm just trying to look at the facts here. I will probably get into what all this like what all this positive stuff that I'm talking about, like how it applies to me or how it applies to like people I know. But for now, I'm just gonna be spitting straight facts. So like just right off the bat, LSD and MDMA, which is just ecstasy if you don't know, it's been used. Psychedelics have been used for a while, but I'm gonna look at a modern context more so than like a kind of whole history of use, medicinally at least. So since like the 50s, MDMA and LSD have been used in therapy sessions to help people with social anxiety, depression, PTSD, uh, even people with autism that have like severe social anxiety. And those results, they were really good, especially now. Now that like we just have more technology, we have there's this there used to be you probably know there used to be this stigma around psychedelics. It's kind of breaking down now. More people are starting to take the science seriously, and like just the research that's being done by people, it's really encouraging, especially with veterans who suffer from PTSD and MDMA. It's it if you use it in the right if you use it in the right setting, like therapy assisted MDMA, it's shown to like help these veterans cope with what they've done, or just help them in general. Like, and the same goes for LSD. Uh, it's just being used in therapies, and it just helps people with whatever mental problems that they might be going through. It For most people, at least, the people that it has helped, they say it gives them like a different perspective on whatever problem that they're having, like whatever it may be, like inside their brain, anxiety, depression, like I already said. But with the addition of a therapist there that can talk you through it, and like somebody that just generally makes you feel safer, I think it's incredible. Like the stuff, there's just the stuff they're doing with it. It's awesome, and like yeah, the perception is still like, oh, ecstasy is a party drug. You take it at like a rave, and yeah, people do that, but you're not gonna stop people from having fun. Like you're just you're not going to stop that kind of stuff. But when you use it in the proper, uh, I don't want to be like generic, but like you use it in the proper set and setting, like it can work wonders. And by no means do you have to have a therapist with you to like get these results. You can do it on your own. You can seek other ways to help yourself if you really want to better yourself with these tools. I honestly do believe that these are tools that we can use to help not just ourselves but like everybody around us. So yeah, uh, the stuff with therapy and PTSD, it's all really fucking awesome. But there's also something else that psychedelics do that that's really interesting to me, at least. It's helping it's helping you come to terms with your mortality. There was a study done by Harvard Medical School in 2015. They gave a high dose of psilocybin mushrooms, which is a psychedelic mushroom, to terminally ill patients. I can't remember if it was cancer. I would assume it's cancer, but I'm just not going to make any assumptions. But they gave it to terminally ill uh, subjects, and I can't remember the exact numbers, but a lot of them came out of the session of like the trip. It was like it was kind of it was the ah damn, I'm fumbling my words here. It was like it was like a therapy session. It was like the MDMA and LSD ones, but they were focusing on their mortality rather than like all the other problems. They were focusing on like what what can this do to lessen the anxiety of somebody who knows they're going to die of some kind of illness. And a lot of these people came back and said that this was one of the best things that's ever happened to them. Like they could not describe how mystical or just life changing that trip was for them. And I can relate to that. The the first time I took the first time I took mushrooms, I was I was over at a friend's house, and somebody was somebody was playing Fortnite, and I said, "Damn, I honestly don't want to watch Fortnite while I'm tripping." We were sitting on the couch, and like I lay down, and I'm looking at the wall, and all the colors from the TV were like flashing on the wall. It was dark in the room, and I just look at that for like 10 minutes. It's like these vibrant colors, like red, yellow, green, orange, blue, and they're like every color. Like it's almost like a rainbow is flashing on the wall. And after about 10 minutes of like just watching that, the paint, not the paint, but like the colors from the light started to look like paint, and they started to solidify on the wall, and it like so ever so slowly started to drip onto the couch. And for some reason, after I saw that, my mind went, all right, it's time to close your eyes. So that is exactly what I did. I don't know how long. I don't know if I was passed out. I don't know if I was like sleeping. I don't know. I don't know what it was. Whatever it was, I had my eyes closed. I don't know for how long. I would probably say about 10 or 15 minutes tops. But I had my eyes closed, and I could see nothing but darkness. Nothing. Just absolute darkness. And then I felt myself, like, in the darkness, move forward. It was like my consciousness was moving forward through this void. And then after about a minute or two of, like, my mind going through this black, empty void, I see a cylinder, and uh, it had eyes and tentacles on it. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, it was, my mind at the time just said, "Oh, that's God." Like, it was just that simple. And during all of this, I was convinced I was dead. I I was dead, and I thought what I saw was God. And I honestly, like, I don't think I will ever have an experience like that until it's my time to pass. I will never forget it. I'll never forget it because as soon as I closed my eyes, I said, "I'm dead. This is what it feels like to be dead." I was so convinced, but I wasn't scared. I was not scared that I was dead. And just knowing that I was 100% convinced I was dead, and I was so calm. I just went forward. Whatever I was in that state, whatever my mind was, I just kept moving forward. That I I just can't. I can't. Ever since it happened, like, I genuinely cannot, like, stop thinking about it. It's not like it's all I think about. Like, oh, that's the end all be all. That, like, I just can't believe that I was that at peace with dying. And, like, I would not say I'm not afraid of death. I think everybody is, no matter what no matter what psychedelic you do, no matter what religion you are a part of. I think just, like, deep down, every single person is afraid to die because, that your brain is trying to keep alive at all times, and it kind of freaks out when you're not going to. And I'm just stunned that in an altered state of consciousness like this, I had no recollection of me being on a psychedelic. I just accepted the fact that I died, like, that easily. And for a few moments after I woke up, after seeing, quote unquote, God, what I thought was God, I I didn't know if I was alive for, like, a few minutes. It was almost like I was in limbo. I had to convince myself I was alive. I'm glad I did, but yeah, like, it just, the places these psychedelics can take you is so. I I don't like saying, like, uh I don't like saying listen to whatever a person has to say, like, 100%. Like, whenever they're telling a story, like, what I just gave you is like bullshit. Like, you can't really describe what your mind does on a psychedelic. You can just, like, put together a few words, but it is just incredible what you can think of and what your mind can do, and how much it can be altered, uh, by a substance that comes from a fucking fungus that grows everywhere. It's everywhere. It's literally everywhere. And that's not even I'm just talking about psilocybin mushrooms. I'm not even talking about like DMT, mescaline, peyote. It's everywhere. It is everywhere, and it is ridiculous. Now I'm gonna go on a rant. Fair warning. It is ridiculous that these substances have been banned. It's ridiculous. Like, I'm sorry, it is. If a grown adult can say, hey, I want to go buy a 6-pack of beer and a carton of cigarettes today. They're over 21. They got their ID. Yeah, go ahead. But you're telling me that somebody over the age of 21 can't take a tab of LSD and maybe make their life a million times better? That is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I'm so glad. I'm so glad that I'm living in an age where that's those stigmas are being broken down. It's fucking awesome seeing people do the work that they're doing with psychedelics. And like people like Joe Rogan who talk about DMT and psychedelics constantly, like it helps so much hearing like people, like even famous people, like I don't know, Nick Kroll. He went on Joe Rogan's show one time and he talked about doing acid at Burning Man, and he talked about how it changed his life. Uh, it just helps hearing more people be open about it, and I think that's the worst thing about it. You can apply it to like weed. You can apply it to weed as well, but more so psychedelics. Like just people talking about it. Like now it's fine if you smoke weed. It's fine. Like people talk about just talking about it is what makes it destigmatized. And hopefully I get to live to see the day where at any free 21-year-old American can go to the corner store or their pharmacy and get prescribed some LSD or psilocybin. That's just how I feel. Like there's not much else I can say on it, to be honest. Uh, yeah, like it should be legal already. It's criminal that it's not. The only reason it's not legal right now is because the US government got scared of it in the 60s and 70s without any research, actually with tons of research and actual studies being done at the time that go against what the US said about psychedelics. They put it on schedule. I forget the name of the act. It was the Controlled Substance Act of 1970, and it put drugs into schedules. That's why meth, coke, weed, like any psychedelic that you probably heard of, it's why they're illegal. They were put into Schedule 1. That means you got a felony if you were caught with those drugs. And now with weed, it's way more lax now, which is good. Psychedelics are still in Schedule 1. Why? Because it's one of two things. One, which I think is more likely, the pharmaceutical companies do not want people to have access to something that can improve their lives greatly, where they don't need to be pumped full of medicine and pills. Or the US government just doesn't care. They don't care, which is honestly just as likely. But yeah, the founder of Alcoholics Anonymous tried LSD in the 1950s, and he said that he thinks every alcohol. He didn't say every. That's my bad. He said alcoholics should try LSD because it might give them some kind of like mystical experience to say, hey, stop drinking yourself to death. And, like, that's beautiful. No cap, like, that's beautiful. The the founder of Alcoholics Anonymous saying that, he wrote that in a letter to not like all the members, but like I guess the people who run it. I guess I didn't do that much research on like the letter he wrote, but like what he wrote about it was really, really captivating to me for some reason. But like, yeah, that's I didn't even talk about that. It's being used now to help people kick their opioid addictions, or people that are addicted to pills or painkillers. It's helping them. It's it can do Psychedelics can do so many amazing things, but they're illegal because the pharmaceutical companies want you to take the pill that does that thing instead of a few therapy sessions on MDMA that can make your life a million times better. Now, as much as I've been hyping up psychedelics, they're not for everybody. It's just like everything. They're not for everybody. But I think a lot more people should try them. I honestly think that. It's like anything. Like you need a different perspective to appreciate what you have around you. Or you need a different perspective to get your shit together. And psychedelics do a fantastic job of that. They give you a totally different perspective. They're incredible. I Yeah, that's that. Honestly, uh, I don't have much else to say. Uh, yeah, that was good. It felt good to get all that off my chest. But yeah, that's the end. I hope y'all are having like a good night, good day, good afternoon, wherever you're listening to this to. Uh, yeah, like I know I've said this every other video, but I'm gonna try and like keep this to a weekly thing. But you know how it goes, just shit happens. But yeah, much love.